Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to the Laurie Lynnsee podcast. I'm Laurie Lynnsee, and today I'm inviting you into my heart and my story. This episode is called Moments That Made Me a Teacher, because while this world sees me now as a spiritual guide, mentor, and intuitive teacher, that call began long before tarot decks or pendulums. It began in classrooms filled with crayons, laughter, and the smell of chalk dust. But it also began in the invisible classroom of life, where Spirit teaches us through love, loss, and transformation. So take a deep breath with me. Inhale gratitude, exhale release. Settle in with your favorite tea or a cozy blanket, and let's walk through the moments that made me, and perhaps will help you remember the teacher within you, too. From the time I could walk, I was teaching something to someone. I played school with my dolls, my friends, even my invisible friends. I would line up stuffed animals and give them spelling tests that I created myself. My mom was a teacher, too. I used to sneak into her classroom and sit behind her desk and imagine what it would be like to stand in front of a room. Even at 5 years old, I could feel something sacred about it, as if I was born to help others discover what was already in them. When I finally got my first real teaching job, I remember walking down the hallway, feeling like I had been handed the keys to my soul's purpose. The smell of freshly sharpened pencils, the sound of tiny sneakers squeaking across the floor. I would think, oh my gosh, they're paying me for this. But as the years passed, teaching evolved for me. I moved from classroom teacher to principal and later to district administrator. Each transition taught me something new about leadership, resilience, and the heart behind education. Still, there were subtle whispers, the sense that while I was doing meaningful work, something inside me longed for a deeper level of connection. I wanted to teach not just reading or math, but meaning. I wanted to nurture not just the mind, but the soul. And even then, I didn't know that Spirit was preparing me for that shift. Then came a diagnosis that changed everything. Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease, CMT. At first, it felt like my life was unraveling. I had always been the one person people relied on, the strong one, the doer, the achiever. And suddenly my body was asking me to slow down, to listen, to rest. There were days I cried in frustration. Days I grieved the life I thought I had lost. I remember sitting in my car outside of the doctor's office, staring at my hands on the steering wheel and whispering, "Why me?" But over time, the question changed. It became, what if this isn't happening to me, but for me? CMT became my greatest teacher. It stripped away the identity of teacher Laurie that I had built for decades and left me standing bare, not broken, but being remade. Because sometimes our greatest purpose emerges in the silence after loss. In the quiet moments when everything familiar falls away and Spirit finally has space to speak. What I didn't know then was that this would become the foundation for my next classroom, one without walls, desks, or bells. When I surrendered to stillness, something ancient stirred inside me. Dreams became vivid. Numbers appeared repeatedly. A gentle voice whispering during meditation, "You are still a teacher, just not in the way you imagined." So I listened. I began studying spirituality much deeper: tarot, pendulum, mentorship, the language of energy, and every new skill felt like remembering rather than learning. The moment I taught my first Communicating with Spirit class, I knew. It was as if I had come home. I watched faces light up as students recognized they could connect with Spirit themselves. And I felt the same magic I once saw in those third graders discovering how to read. Except now they were learning to read the energy of their own soul. That one class opened the floodgates. Tarot led to pendulum, pendulum to the clairs. Clairs eventually led to past lives. Each class became a sacred circle of remembrance, where we didn't just learn, we remembered. Because that's what spiritual teaching really is. It's not giving knowledge, but guiding souls back to what they already know. Today, my classroom looks a little different. There are no report cards or parent-teacher conferences. Thank goodness. Instead, there are soul contracts, ancestral clearing, and intuitive awakenings. I teach people how to listen to their intuition, stop second-guessing, and start trusting. I teach how to heal old patterns that keep us stuck. I teach that your pain can be transformed into purpose, that your most bittersweet moments are not the end of your story, but the beginning of you becoming. And as I look ahead into more classes, like the Sacred Self-Worth or Healing with Spirit, I see how every step of my life has been leading me here. Every lesson plan, every heartbreak, every diagnosis. Each was a paintbrush painting the picture of who I was becoming. When I teach now, it feels like both are homecoming and prayer, because I know it isn't just what I do, it's who I am. If you're listening right now, I want you to think about the moments that shape you, the ones that cracked you open, the ones that whispered, "There's more." Maybe your moment came through a loss, maybe through illness, maybe through an unexpected ending or an awakening you can't quite explain. Whatever it is, trust that Spirit wastes nothing. You are not being broken, you are being refined. You are not losing yourself, you are being led back home. And like me, maybe you're discovering that your true purpose is something you've known all along. It was just waiting for the right season to bloom. So ask yourself, what moments made you who you are? And what new moments are calling you forward? Take a deep breath. Inhale remembrance. Exhale resistance. And whisper to yourself, I was made for this. Thank you, beautiful souls, for tuning into the Laurie Lynnsee podcast. If today's episode touched your heart, I would love for you to share it with a friend. Leave a review. You can also explore my upcoming classes, guided meditation, and soul resources on my website. Check out the show notes. Remember, every time you listen, you're helping this light reach others who are ready to awaken. Until next time, breathe deeply, trust in your inner compass, and know you were made for this.